Hey guys, today we're going to go ahead and also do solving quadratic functions by factoring. And last time we talked about these, we did the simple ones. For example, we did x squared plus, I think it was something like 4x, and then we do minus 12. Okay, and then when we went ahead and did that, we did our x factor. Okay, and remember we did factors are two numbers that produce a product. So right here we have an imaginary one, so it would be x and x. Over here, negative 12, the factors of negative 12, well, remember the factors also have to combine to give you the middle term. So negative 12, I can have 6 times 2. But when I multiply 6 and 2, I need to get a negative 12. So one of these has to be a negative. So I'm going to make the 2. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and test it out. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. X times 6 is a positive 6x. Negative 2x plus 6x gives me 4x. And that's what I wanted. Okay, so when we do these factors, we always want to keep in mind that we want factors that will combine to give me the middle term. If you notice, 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. Alright, so the factors in this case would be x and plus 6, x minus 2. And these would be your factors. Now in this lesson we're going to go ahead and kick it up a notch. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Let's do our x factor. And a lot of times the easy ones will have numbers that are prime. So the factors of 2x squared are 2x and x. And the factors of 3, well, there's only 2, 3 and 1. Okay, but remember, I'm still trying to get 7x. Okay, if I put 3 here and a 1 there, let's try to see if that gives me a solution. 2x times 1 is 2x. X times 3 is positive 3x. Well, when I combine that, it's going to give me a 5x. That's not what I want. I wanted a 7x. So that is not going to work out for me. Okay, well, let's go ahead and try to switch these guys around. Maybe the 1 here and the 3 there. And if you notice, 2 times 3 is going to give me 6x. X times 1 gives me 1x. When we combine, gives me the 7x. And that's what I wanted. So my factors, when I go ahead and do these, are going to be straight across. So they are going to be 2x plus 1 and then x plus 3. Okay, and if they ever want to, they ask you for the zeros or the solutions, we just set them equal to 0. So 2x plus 1 equals 0 and x plus 3 equals to 0, and then you can solve it. 2x equals negative 1, x equals negative 1/2. Same thing over here. This one's easier. X is going to equal to negative 3. So these would be the solutions. Okay. Let's go ahead and do another one so you can get the hang of it. Okay, 3x squared plus 17x plus 10. Let's do my x factor. Factors of 3x squared, that's going to be easy. 3x and x. And then factors of 10. Well, let's see. We can use 2 and 5, so let's try that. About 2 and 5. 3x times 5 is 15. Good. And x times 2 is positive 2. Nice. So 15 plus 2 is 17. Perfect. That's what I wanted. So my factors are going to be 3x plus 2 and x plus 5. And if you want to go ahead and find the solutions, make sure you set them equal to 0. And you're going to find that x is equal to negative 5. And in this case, x is going to equal to negative 2/3. Okay. And then later on, when we talk about graphing quadratics, you're going to find that these are actually the x-intercepts. So these will end up being actually points on the graph. Because they are the x, they go first. Negative 2/3 comma 0, and then this one would be negative 5 comma 0. Okay. But if they ask you just a factor, this is as far as you go. Alright, let's go ahead and do this one. 3x squared and 4. Same thing. 3x and x. Factors of 4, well, we can use 4 and 1. I'm going to use 2 and 2. Just because I can see it already. And after a while, you can see it already in your head. 3x times 2. X times 2 is 2x. And when we combine, it gives me the 8x that I want. So my factors are going to be 3x plus 2. And then 3 and x plus 2. Okay. And same thing, if you want to find the solutions, you set them equal to 0. And let me go ahead and do one last one because students get confused with these. And it's 4x squared minus 25. This, we call it a perfect square binomial. And you notice there is no middle term. So students get confused and say, well, what do I do? Well, you do the exact same thing. The only thing is you notice that the middle term has to combine to give you a 0. So let's start with the 4x squared. And you notice that these are perfect squares. 4 is a perfect square of 2 and 2. And then negative 25. Now remember, there is no middle term. There is no x value. So what we want to do is make the middle combine to a 0. So the only way I'm going to do that is if I have a negative and a positive. And you notice 2x times 5 is 10x, and then 2x times negative 5 is a negative 10x. So when this combines, you get nothing, 0. You don't get 0x, you just get 0. So my factors are 2x minus 5 and 2x plus 5. And that would be your solution. Okay, guys?